everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I was feeling a whole lot like doing something abstract. And as far as that goes, I really kind of just wanted to create some fun backgrounds, get some color involved, and then maybe do some very subtle line art on top of that. I find that these are really trendy right now. I feel like abstract art is always a safe way to go when it comes to home decor because it's just a little splash of color. It's not, a big giant painting of a bird in the middle of your living room, if you know what I mean. So I think that can be a really safe way to go if you're looking for home decor. And it's actually, for the most part, rather easy to recreate it and then to maybe even add a little bit more of an artistic touch on top of it. So what I have today is 3 different ways for you to create unique abstract backgrounds. And I'm just going to be doing little samplers on these tiny sheets of paper. And I'm going to be using 3 different mediums. I'm going to be using watercolor, I'm going to be using regular acrylic paint, and I am also going to be using my ultimate nemesis, and that is, of course, soft pastels. I genuinely spent so much time trying to think about which one I would rather start with, if I wanted to start with the soft pastels and get them out of the way, or if I wanted to save them to the end so that I could stall, I guess. But I think it's better that I get it out of the way and get it done so that I can focus on things that relax me afterwards, which would be painting. And I was gonna save this glove for the acrylics, but I need it now or I think I might die while I'm doing this. So, gonna suit up a little bit here. Oh yeah, that's good. And now what the best way to do this is to try to create almost like an iCat design, I believe is what they're called, where it's really scrapey. Oh my gosh, just the motion of doing that and the idea of the sound that was going to come from it gave me goosebumps again. If you've seen me try to work with chalk pastels before, you know I hate chalk. Chalk is like my least favorite thing in the world. And I have serious goosebumps right now. Alright, so basically I decided to kind of space out. I went with the pink first and I just kind of added some splotches of color, and then I took the orange and I went in and added color in some of the empty spaces, and then I filled in the remainder with the yellow. I'm gonna pop some of the extra off. This is a fun, like, kind of neon design. I actually really like the way that this looks so far. Then that's the sad part, is I really like the way that chalk pastels look. I just hate using them. So now you're gonna take either tissue or some cotton swabs, or really just anything you have laying around. Honestly, you could probably use your fingers with the gloves on. I've done that before in my last video. And that is option number 1. And towards the end of the video, I will come back and I will actually add my abstract drawings on top of them too. Alrighty, I wiped off most of the chalk and I still have my glove on, so I think that means it's time to move on to the paint. So I've picked out 3 colors that I think would look okay together. I really didn't want to do like a monochromatic kind of look. I didn't want to go with all blues because I feel like I kind of cop out and do that a lot. So I decided to challenge myself by putting in color I would normally never put in with blues, and that would be a yellow or an orange. I thought orange was maybe a little bit too extreme in that direction. This is going to be kind of the messy one, which is why I recommend having a glove. Or, plastic wrap or something else. You could obviously do this again just with your plain fingers. Alright, so here's basically my method here. I'm just going to smush my hand into it and see how that looks. So this kind of gives me like water lilies vibes, which I'm surprisingly into. And I do like the texture of where the fingers kind of picked up. I kind of want to do this again and try a different method. I'm going to do a little bit more of a recycling kind of vibe, and I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add in some paint again. Instead of going downstairs and getting something else, I'm going to reuse my glove and I'm going to use this to do the pressing motions. And I'm just kind of going to dab and create this texture instead. Before it gets too green, I'm going to stop. And I'm going to set these off into another room to dry. Alrighty, now it is time for the last design, which somehow I think, even though it is still abstract, it's probably the most structured and probably the least messy. So this is going to require some abstract shapes and a little bit of layering. So I've pulled out one of my favorite watercolor sets, which is actually a pearlescent set that I got from Five Below. Quality of the packaging is trash, but I really like the way that the colors look. I've used it a couple times doing like a paint drip challenge, and also I think in my review where I just like created some art pieces. I think it's really fun. I actually think this brush might be too big. I think I'm gonna go swap this out real quick. This one's better and fluffier, so I'll wet that a little bit. I'm gonna start with my darkest color first, so that when I start layering the lighter colors, you can still see the dark through the light, and that is the goal here. So I'm gonna like make 3 decently sized, I would say like medium sized based on the size of this sheet here, shapes. And I kind of want them to be like a little bit more rounded than anything. Like I don't want squares, triangles kinds of vibes. I want like a big, like organic, I love that word, just something or other. So like let's do something like that. Some specific things you want to make sure you're doing is make sure that your first set of shapes don't touch. I actually kind of wish I would have angled this one out a little bit more, maybe made this one a little bit higher, but this is the point of abstract, is it's really trying to kind of break a lot of those rules. I think it's pushing out of your comfort zone and doing something that seems to maybe look wrong at first and then making it work for you. Now I'm going to create some more shapes overlapping the shapes I've already made, maintaining that kind of like round organic vibe. You could obviously add in like a pop of color or something after this. And that is that. And of course the best part is that they are shiny, shiny, shiny. I love, love, love that. I think it just adds just a little extra something. So now with all of this done, I am going to hop back to my original piece, make sure my other 2 acrylic pieces are dry, and I'm just gonna hyperlapse through adding some abstract line art on top, and we will be all done. And now it's time for the big reveal. Everything has been done, and I added some abstract line art on top. I definitely went for a kind of plant theme. I thought it would have been cool to create like a frog over here, but I have like 0 experience drawing animals. I'm not good at it. Honestly, I didn't think I wanted to even show you this, but I did try on one of them. I don't even know what was going on here, but some of it is still wet and it's not drying no matter how many times I blast it with the hairdryer. I think it's just really thick. But I mean, I guess if you were really interested in what it looked like, it's kind of like this. I tried to do like an overhead shot of the frog and it just kind of looks like a bug. I don't know. I don't love that. So I did a lily pad on this one because like I said, it does remind me of Monet's Water Lilies, which is one of my favorite. If this like yellow was more pink, I think it would be spot on. Or not spot on, obviously, but you know, very, very derivative, let's say. This one turned out better than I expected. Now that there's not so much chalk dust laying around, I'm not anxious to touch it. I do kind of regret some of the choices I made in terms of the line art, but again, that's something that I was just kind of messing around. This isn't something I'm displaying, selling, whatever. This is just for me, for having fun and enjoying myself. So this is like a collection of potted plants, and then on this one I did a cactus. And I did this particular style of cactus because I thought it fit the way that the shapes were setting. This kind of was set from the beginning. Originally I feel like I was maybe going to do like a hand silhouette here, but after I got this one down and I got the lily pad down, it seemed right to kind of continue the theme of plants and flowers. But yeah, that is actually all I had for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed watching this, and I hope you got a little bit of inspiration, so maybe you can go off and create one of your own. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, feel free to like and subscribe. I put out new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and I would love for you to be here for the next one. Thanks again so much, and I hope to see you then. Bye!